Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Okay, we will continue with our lectures. We are going through organizational structure. Organizational structure. So, by the end of the day, this section, you define what organizational structure is, the elements, also compare the formal and informal. They explain the selected elements or principles of organizational structure. Types of organizational structure, factors that influence the design of the structure that we can use. We can also discuss the reasons and the committee aspect of organizational structure. Then we discuss organizational chart and formal structure. Okay, so what is organizational structure? We have done organization as part of the functions of what? Management. We did organization. So an organization is what? A group of what? Organizing. We did organizing. It's part of what the management function, planning, organizing, staffing, and all those aspects. Okay, so now organizing is what? Is an organization is a group of what? With them working together under formal and informal rules of what behavior to achieve a common purpose. So organization also refers to the process, procedures, policies, and methods involved in achieving this common purpose. It can be a structure, a process, or even a design. So we will draw more on the structure and the design. We're going through the process already, but the design. So what is an organizational structure? It is a framework within which an organization arranges its line of what authorities and communication, allocates rights and duties to its what members. So that's organizational structure. And organizational, as I said, we also have a process. We also have the design, the elements. Here we go through, we have done the process, the organizing process, the method used to achieve organizational goals, but also go through the key elements. That is the element of organizational structure. That's the design. So when managers, when we create or change the structure, they are engaged in what? Organizational, the design that we can use to help management achieve their goals using the organizational structure. And we have 6 key elements. We will discuss this as we go along. So these are the types of organizational structure. We can have a formal and informal organizational structure. The formal structure is plan. It's a plan structure and represent the deliberate attempt to establish a pattern of relationships among components. That's what made the objective of the organization, effective organization. Okay, so the informal one refers to what those aspects of the system that are not what planned explicitly, but arise as what spontaneously of the what activities and interactions of what as we go, as we are in the organization, we have informal organization coming up. So it can, this is one, it can come spontaneously. It arises spontaneously out of the activities and interactions of participants in the organization that we find ourselves respect. So the informal structures is generally what and naturally what it's come naturally, spontaneously. Forming social, the network that we form. Hey, have you heard? Have you done this? Network of what employees that we engage ourselves in, or that we interact with. Then out of those things, interactions and communications that we have with our uh, employees or the participant or individuals employed in an organization, then this informal thing can arise. It's natural thing. So the informal relationships are vital for the effective function of the organization. Yes, you can hear something. This person is saying something. This person is saying. This person is plotting demonstration. These are all informal things. But if you also as a manager, you can also get this information, this informal thing to it will also help you. So as I said, the informal relationships are vital for the effective function of the organization. So the informal structure even has its own communication network known as what the grapevine. Mm, grapevine communication. The grapevine. Information that come out after, which is not informal, but if in if a manager and you also what have a relationship, if this grapevine information will help you also what, because you have this pertinent information that comes, but not it's formal, but it can it will help the manager functioning well, effective in an organization. So don't ignore this grapevine. Have you heard this? Have you heard this? These are all grapevine communication, concern. So these are all grapevine communication. So, but as a manager, you can't ignore this information. Accept them, and it's some of them are true. And if you accept them and if you rely on them, it can also help you function. So that is grapevine, not grapevine, or not all grapevine information are not true. If you listen to this type of communication, it's also help building your organization. So what is the importance of organizational structure? So we have many of them. It provides a basis for the assignment of duties. Yes, when you have the structures and responsibilities to individuals, it all provides what a network of roles of people, what they are supposed to do. So we are under this, we are under this, and organizational chart help us to what and do this, all these things, responsibilities. It can also provide a hierarchy of roles so that people get to know who is a superior. So as we get into the element, you know what kind of things that we are supposed to do, the element of organizational structure. So we do the superior subordinate relationship that we have. Then it provides a means of responsibilities and authority relationships as well. Avoids overlapping of functions. You know where you belong to, you know your responsibility, you know your duties, you know where you're supposed to work. So that is the structures that we have in every organization. We have these structures, the line and the staff and all those things. So it avoids overlapping of functions because it pinpoints what the responsibilities are. It coordinates all organizational activities, so there is a minimum duplication of work or duplication of effort or conflicts. And it frees the manager, it frees the manager and the individual way to concentrate on their respective roles. So I am the subordinate, I am the superior, and you are the subordinate, and you know your roles and responsibilities. You know your lines of communication. Where do you go? So these are the and the manager as well. It helps him or her to concentrate, to focus on his or her roles or her responsibility. And it provides a framework for people to interact here with the charts, with the structure. You know when you have a problem, lines of communication. So when you have a problem, this is where I'm supposed to report to first. And it provides a means for delegation and determine who is accountable to whom. And we also have done delegation. I think last week we did delegation. Mm. So it provides a means for delegation and determining who is accountable to whom. And what is its purpose? It's the purpose of what structure. A device work to be done in a specific job and what department. It assigns tasks and responsibilities associated with jobs, individual jobs. Then it also what coordinates diverse what organizational tasks. And it establishes relationship between individuals, groups, and departments. Establishes formal lines of authority, then allocates organizational resources. And it classes job into what the units that we want. Mm. So that is the purpose of what organizational structure. the line of authority is this one. The line of authority is what it entitles what a manager to direct the work of an employee. So it is the employer-employee that kind of what relationship or authority. So this is the purpose, meaning purpose of what organizational structure. And we have the key, as I said, when we create or change the activities of the structure, we can have this key element to work with. So there's 6 key elements of organizational, so it becomes a design. So the design that we want the structure to follow. So these are the key elements in the organizational. So these are the elements of organization, the design of organizational structure. So we have element 1, work specialization. Element 2, departmentalization. Element 3, we have chain of command. Element 4, we have span of control. Element 5, we have centralization and decentralization. Then element 6, finally, we have formalization. So let's go through all these structures. So the elements of organizational structure, let's discuss this. The elements. Number 1 element is what? Specialization. What do you mean by specialization? Specialization, what is it? So early in the 20th century, there's this person called Henry Fayol. So Henry Ford, the Ford, Ford. So this person, Ford became what? Rich by doing something what? Unique. That is specialization. Building automobile. So Ford that we are using now. We have Ford. So it was named after this person, Henry. So by doing something unique, building automobiles, using what? Assembling line and all those things. So every worker was assigned what? A specific what? A repetitive task. So such as what? Putting on the right front wheel or installing the left front door. So even if you have your individual cars or individual whatever, or let's come even to our word, the specialty that's so you have in the healthcare system. We have the doctors, even doctors, we have specialty among them. Surgeons, whatever, even nurses, we also have specialty. So that is specialization. The elements of the organizational structure. So me and nurse, you cannot also go to the where midwife was. So midwifery, they belong to the midwifery department. Nurses also belong to what nursing department. Even nursing, we have so many specializations in nursing. Okay, so this is the work specialization that I'm talking about. So we have work specialization or division of work. It describes the degree to which activities in the organization are divided into what? Separate jobs. So the essence of work specialization is what? To divide a job into several steps, each completed by what? A separate individual. Okay, work specialization. So the main idea of this design is that an entire job is not done by one individual. Yeah. So it is broken down into steps, and the different what person completes each step. So individual employees specialize in doing part of an activity rather than what the entire activity. So it involves repetitive performance of a few what skills. So that is what the work specialization. So as I said, work specialization and what division of labor. So that is the subdivision of work into separate jobs assigned to what different people. So it potentially what increases work efficiency, yes. And it makes efficient use of what employees cost, because you are put into what where you work best. And so if it increases employees cost through repetition, as I said, from the work specialized few performance of skills, specialized training is more what efficient. That is specialization and division of labor. Number 2 element is what? Departmentalization. Everybody, as we have specialty, then we also they belong to what? A department. So this is the basis by which jobs are grouped together. For instance, every organization has its own what? specific way of classifying and group work activities. So in nursing, we have the male ward, the female ward, the children's ward, and even so we have the, even have it, though we have a specialization, yes. So we also group into what? Departments or units. We have the OPDs, we have intensive care, we have theater nurses and all those. So after specialization, we need to also place you into various what? Departments. So once job has been off, that is why we also have the line and the staff department as well. So once job have been what? Classified through your specialty. So we also group, they are groups, so those common tasks can be what? Coordinated. So when we have our specialty area, then we also group them into what? Departments. So departmentalization is the basis of which work or individuals are grouped into what? Manageable what? Units. We have our various ward or units. And so there are 5 traditional methods for grouping work activities. So number one activity, these are the 5 patterns used in departmentalization. 5 traditional methods of group work activity. We have departmentalization by their function, departmentalization by product or services, then by geographical what? Regions, grouping them by what? By processes and equipment, by customer. So let's go through, let's see what the department of function means. Departmental, functional departmentalization. That is where we group jobs according to function. Jobs are grouped according to what? Our function. So we have even know also, if you see maybe the charts, the functional department, we have what? We have example, the plant manager is the head. Under him, we have the engineering, accounting, manufacturing, human resource, or whatever, by their functions that they can perform. Okay. So by function, as I said, it organizes by the function to be performed. So it groups jobs by functions that are supposed to be performed. So it can be used in all kinds of organizations. Then it depends on the goals of each of them want to achieve, the goals that you as an individual or as a unit want to achieve. So that is by function. And these are the positive aspect of by function. There's efficiency from putting together similar specialties. So we have done the specialization, then that is where we come departments and people with common skills, knowledge, and orientations. Coordination with your functional area, in-depth what specialization. But the negative aspect is that poor communication across the functional area. Then there's limited view of what organizational goals. We all have functions to perform. So what about them? The products or services? The products. It's group job by what? The product line. So for instance, major department stores are structured around product groups such as what? Home accessories, appliances, women clothing, men's clothing, and children's clothing. So that's the products by the product line. So we have our what? The male ward, or we have all males, and we have the conditions that we also manage there. We have the surgical ward, what we do there. We have the children's ward. We have the whatever ward. So these are all the wards we put. Then we also, these things, each manager is responsible for an area within the organization, depending of the specialization that the person has specialized. So in all these things, we have our manager, one specific manager controlling all the works, one unit or one department. So that is products or services. So we, in the end, we provide services to maybe surgical patients, for children who are sick, for people who are sick, and that is the service that was we provide. And each of the units, we also have what our heads in the units. Then the products, what are we doing? So these are the different the aspect, the positive aspect, allows specialization in particular products and services here. Managers can become experts in their industry, closer to your customer, by duplication of what functions, limited view of what organizational goals. Okay, so when we have geographical areas, departments by what? Geographical areas. So groups, these things, it groups jobs according to geographic what? Region. So groups jobs on the basis of territory or geography. For example, Merck, a major pharmaceutical company, has its domestic sales departmentalized by region, such as they have the Northeast, Southeast, Midwest, wherever. So that is the region. So sometimes we have pharmaceutical products being here. Then it also it has also to maybe when you go to Edom, you have it. When you go to this place, you have it. So into what geography? So when you come to maybe the Diakon, oh, we don't have it, but I can direct you to another facility where you can also what get the same products. So that is departmentalization what by what geographical what regions. And these are the different aspects on the regions. More effective and efficient handling of specific regional issues that arise. Serve needs of what a unique geographical what markets. So, oh, I have planted my pharmacy here. Oh, but I think if I go to maybe deeper areas, oh, these people they need this, they need this. So this is what I also focus there. But it are the same is duplication of functions can feel isolated from the organization areas. So this is the aspects on this type, different aspects, both positive and negative aspect on this type of what departmentalization. What about process and equipment? Um, so with the process and equipment, it groups jobs on the basis of product or customer flow, the process and equipment on the job and customer flow. So these are the different aspects of it. We have the positive and the what negative aspect. The process that we use, in our healthcare, we go through various processes, and we also have equipment that we can use in providing services to our patients. More efficient flow of what work activities. So the process that we go. So nursing, if you want to dress wound, you know the process that you use. So all the task that we do, routine task, and you know the equipment that also we equipment that we also have to make the work what flow to the customers. So can only be used with certain types of products. Yeah. So not all. So this person is sick. You can't use this thing to cure this person, but maybe you can also have another alternative treating the patient. So we also that is why we have the dosage, you have the flow, all those things. We need to study all these things and be efficient and effective in providing the right and right care to the patient. So that is a grouping by what process and equipment too. Then by customer. So group just on the basis, so by customer relationship, it's group just on the basis of what specific and unique what customer who have what common needs. So for instance, healthcare service may group its work according to what, whether it is what serving private sector, public sector, government or non-profit organization. So a current, but now a current departmentalization trend is what is to structure work according to what customer using what cross-functional scheme. So this group is all chosen from different functions to work together across various departments to interdependently create new products or services. For instance, a cross-functional team consists of managers from accounting, finance, and marketing is created to preface a technology plane. But you mean when you come to our healthcare services, now we can work together with nurses, with midwives, with what public health nurses, doctors in various specialty areas. We can also have nutritionists, dietitians, physiotherapists, and all. We come together to work to work to improve what the health of patients or to satisfy patient what needs or care. So this is what departmentalization was by customer. Okay. So we have different aspects. Positive aspect, customers' needs and problems can be what met by what the various specialists that we have. Still the same is duplication of functions, limited view of what organizational goals. So these are the elements in departmentalization. Departmentalization. So this is the 6 elements. We have the first one is what? Work specialization. The second one is what? Departmentalization. And as I said, departmentalization, we have 5 what? Various units in departmentalization. So the next element is chain of command. Chain of command. So what is chain of command? Chain of command is what? So when you see the organizational structure, we have the broken lines and unbroken lines. So the unbroken lines is the unbroken line of authority that connects each level of what management with the next level. So we report to one person in order to in order in which what it is the order in which authority and power is delegated from what you see is from the top to the down. Top management to every employee at every level of what organization. So from top to down, that's chain of command. So in the word, you have your nurse in charge. If you have a problem, you go to the word in charge. You don't go to the or report. Oh, in charge, we don't have gloves. You don't just get up and go to the matron and tell the matron that matron we don't have gloves. No, the in charge is there. So the top to the bottom. So it demonstrates who formally what report to whom within the organization. That is the chain of command. So the more clear the chain of command is, the more effective. So if you don't respect your in charge and you go to what, it can bring so many conflicts and problems and challenges on the world. You need to respond directly. So that is why you have all these organizational structures. So you need to follow them thoroughly, truly. So, for example, military forces are an example of straight chain of chain of. You can't bypass your immediate charge and go to the other person. So that is chain of command. And so the chain of command, it helps organization to function smoothly by making 2 things. Who is responsible for each task? The in charge will do it. And who has the authority to make official decisions? So, for instance, in the world, is the in charge. Who is responsible for tasks? So the task I'm supposed to what the timetable, the task that you're supposed to do, when you're supposed to report to work and all those things, the schedules that we use. You can't bypass them. That is what the chain of what command. And in organization, employees are assigned what responsibility for their jobs. Yes. So they are obliged to perform those duties and to achieve what goals and what objectives are associated with their jobs. Then the accountability. We did it in the delegation for reporting their. So you are accountable for reporting their duties to what supervisors or team members and justify what outcomes that falls below their expectations. We also have the authority. Managers ensure tasks are accomplished by exercising what authority. And authority is for the power to make decisions. Yes, the formal thing. Formal power to make decisions, issue orders, carry out actions, and allocate what? Resources. So, and a delegation is also part of this element, the chain of command. Chain of command, I have a lot. Chain of command. We have, so even in authority, we have line authority and also have what? Staff authority. In the line authority is where, as I said, it is the employer-employee authority relationship that extends from what? The top of the organization to the lowest of the organization. And so it's following what's the chain of command. And the staff authority function is to support or assist, advise, and generally what reduce what some of their informal the burden. So then delegation to is the assigning of what? Giving someone your responsibility, work, and transfer of authority and responsibility to do that work. Your subordinate to do that work. So that is what. So these are all elements in chain of command. Mm. We also have in the chain of, it's over unity of what? Command. Unity of command principle suggests that each subordinate should have only one superior whose command he has to obey. Yes. The same as unity of direction. The one person to direct you in whatever your activities that is supposed. So dual subordination is undesirable as it leads to what? Confusion, disorder, uneasiness, and what? Indiscipline. So an employee should not what? Have more than one boss to whom he has to report and also function. Sometimes if you are the head, sometimes you give instructions to your subordinates, and so you need to see that your subordinates will not obey. And sometimes it hurts. It means that your subordinate does not respect you. He doesn't even know the chain of command, the principles of that chain of command. And sometimes it happens to all of us. You give instructions, you see that the person maybe immediate the person who is what? Almost at your level. When you give instructions, he will not take it. Oh, he prefers giving responding to instruction to other person from other person rather than you giving an instruction. If you tell him do this, she will not do it. You tell him rather he will go past you. And it's not nice. It is happening to all of us in organization. You know that person also will know that sometimes someday sometime I would also become what the boss. And if you also what some people also do these things to you, if you will take it well. So we all have to what respect these structures. Your subordinates will not be your superior will not be what there for forever, for life. She will go, and you the subordinates, you can also become what the superior. And if somebody did this thing to you, will you be happy? So we all need to what respect the superior under this chain of what command. So now you know the chain of command, and so when you go back to the word, respect it. An employee should not have more than one boss. It is your boss, immediate boss, that you need to respect, report to. So reporting to more than one boss leads to what? Confusion. I've instructed, bring this one to me. Rather, you bypass me and give it to my more what in charge, and it's bad, it's hurting. So this ensures that each individual in the organization only reports what? Only one boss or supervisor. That this can reduce conflict in project or in production or management. Chain of command. So these are the characteristics of the chain of command, the size of the organization. So if you see the size, we can create more units so that everybody can work. So the type and complexity of the product it or services it's provide, the diversity of its products and services, the number and complexity of control required, the geographic spread, then the type of people it employs. So these are some of the characteristics of what chain of command. Then the element 4. So element 1, we have done that. Element 2, element 3, element 4. I said we have 6 elements. So element 4 is span, the span of control. So the span of control in the organization is what defined as the number of what employees reporting what directly to one supervisor. So it is important to what a large degree because it determines the number of what levels and managers an organization has. So also it determines the number of employees manager can efficiently and effectively what manage. So the span of control principle states that a person should be the supervisor of a group that he or she can effectively what supervise in terms of numbers, terms of functions, in terms of what geographical region or area. But some past traditionally, the span of control has been defined as one number between 4 and 7 subordinates under one manager. But now you cannot have it. So that is the long way, the traditional thing that we're doing. But wider span of management increases what organizational efficiency. So maybe example, supervisor A is responsible for 5 sales staff. Okay, so we have this type of span of control. We have wider span of control. We also have narrow span of control. So with this wider, the span of control depends on the type of products being made. So products which are easier to make and deliver needs less supervision, and so can have what a wider span of control. And the skills of manager. So a skillful workforce can work with a wider span of control as they require less supervision. But the narrow one, it requires a higher level of management skills to control a greater number of employees. So there's a less management.
You come and be here writing on the bed. What's your problem? When you can't get anywhere to me. Why are you disturbing me? And you are hurting the boy too. Why are you on the bed writing?
Hey.
Is the ground on the floor?
I didn't cross him. Element 5 is centralization and decentralization. So centralization and decentralization, so that is what a philosophy of organization and management that focuses on either the concentration, that is centralization, or disposal, decentralization of authority within our organization. So let's see. Centralization is the remaining of power or authority to what? We have done the levels, management levels, the upper levels of management. By retaining power at the top, those decisions that directly would affect a company will be made by the proper governing board. Then they decentralize to the other people. That is the decentralization. So the advantage to centralization involve a closer control of company operations, including policies and practices. And all our policies and practices and guidelines and all the practice guides and everything, it comes from the top. The top. Then it can also be disposed towards when they have done all those things, the policies, the SOPs and all those things, then they dispose it to the down people. That is disposal, decentralization. So decentralization refers to the systematic effort to delegate to the lowest level of authority, except that which can only be exercised at the central point. So decentralization is concerned with the placement of authority with reference to responsibility. We have decision making, improve effectiveness of managers, democratization, improve morale of personnel. That is advantages. And the disadvantage is violating unity of command, because we have no one, whatever. So we know the unity of command principles. Then misuse of Element 6 is formalization, the formal thing. There you go. So that is the last element in there. So formalization refers to the degree to which jobs within the organization are standardized, and the extent to which employee behavior is guided by the rules and products and procedures and responsibilities. That's the formal thing to do. So as formalization is the degree to which jobs within the level are standardized, it has two levels. You have the high level and the low level. With the high levels, there's minimum amount of discretion over what, when, and how. Consistent output, explicit job description, the high levels. The organizational rules and responsibilities. Clearly define the procedures. But at low levels and program behaviors, then the formalization, where you can also use your discretion. Great deal of freedom, less standardization, things that are not necessary. It has levels. Formalization considers alternatives. so that we can have more alternative. There's low levels of what formalization. So as I said, we use organizational charts for the organizational structure. An organizational chart is what? The organizational chart is a diagram describing the basic arrangement of what work positions within an organization. And I believe that in all your units, wherever you work, you have the organizational structure where you report to whom. We have the president, the vice president, vice president next, and then the lateral. Then so you have the unbroken line, then the broken line and the whatever. So an organizational chart can help us understand organizational structures better. So the charts graphically illustrate the internal structures of company, and they detail the roles of each company, of each individual, responsibility and relationship attached to job position. So that is the organizational charts and formal structures. So these are the characteristics of organizational charts. A typical organization shows the line of formal authority and communication link, linking those positions to one another, as you can see from here. And also have the formal relationships, that's the line of communication and authority are depicted on the organizational tab by what? Unbroken lines. We have some broken lines and also have unbroken lines. So these lines position can be what? Shown by solid, horizontal, or vertical. You can see the horizontal lines and also can see the vertical lines as well. The organizational charts that we have. Then also solid horizontal lines represent communication between what? People with similar spheres of what? Responsibility and power, but different functions. And you also have solid what? Vertical lines. Solid vertical lines between positions denote the official chain of what? Command. You know chain of command. I've taught you chain of command, the formal part of communication authority. So now you know chain of command. So these are the colors of the organizational charts. And so those having the greatest decision making authority are located at the top, as you can see. Those with the least at the bottom. The level of position on the chart also signifies status and not power. Okay, so the dotted or unbroken lines, you can see the unbroken lines on the organization chart represent staff positions. Because these positions are advisory, staff member provides information and assistance to the manager, but has limited organizational authority. Okay, so this is the characteristics of the organizational charts. And also the components of the chart, we have the division of work, who is supposed to do it, the type of work that the person is supposed to be performed. Then the formal communication channels, as I said, you need to follow the chain of command. You know, the sub-units and the major sub-units that I also have. In every organization, we have units, we have sub, even you can have even up to sub-units there. So you know the chain of command, chain of direction, unity of whatever, where you're supposed to go. The authority, the responsibility, line of authority, staff authority. Then we also have the various forms of those kind of authority that we have. Then the level of management, and you know, I have taught you the management level, and you know that I'm not going back because I've taught you management level. And you're supposed to know by now. Don't forget, if you forget, it will go against you. Okay, so these are the components of the organizational chart, the division of work, the type of work performed, formal communication channels, the formal, so where you need to chain of command. Then major subunits that we have in the charts. Then the level of management. These are the advantages. It maps lines of decision-making authority. It also helps people understand their assignment, those of their co-workers. It reveals to managers and new personnel how they fit into the organization. It can also contribute to sound organizational structure. You know the structure, what the structure is about. It can show what formal lines of communication, yes, the chain of command, unity of direction, unit of authority, and responsibility, unity of command too, and unity of direction. And it's also the way the organization is tended toward the function. That is the most major the departments. Organizational charts convey useful information about the organization. So as soon as you enter the organization, you can also see the chart. Oh, okay, so I'm looking for the matron. So yes, so this person here, this unit, this one is what the superior. So I'm looking for the superior. So this is where I should go. So that is the chart. It is close. It's a geographical representation of the organization. So as soon as we say it, oh, so this is talking about. So every unit, every organization is supposed to have the charts, the structure as well. This is the limitation. Shows only formal was relationships. So when you are not well versed, you cannot understand what the thing is about. Does not indicate what degree of what authority. But when you are there, you can see. Then they will tell you what is the chart is about. They are difficult to keep current what issues unless you change them. Every aspect that comes in, everything that comes in, and every new thing that comes in, you have to also read structure the charts. It may show things as they are supposed to be or used to be rather than as they are. May define roles too narrowly. So you don't know who is to be, but unless you are orientated to it. And possibility exists of confusing authority with what status, yes. So that is the limitation of organizational charts. And as I said, so I said the chart is used to what? It's a geographical what? And helps in what? The structure. Apart from the elements, these are the types of structures that we have in every organization. We have the line structure, we have the functional structure, we have the ad hoc, where we meet, different people come together, we solve problems, in the end, then we resolve it. The matrix is a complex issue. Then the flat and tall designs. Okay, so these are the functional, the line. So let's see the functional. The functional structure is created by grouping the activities on the basis of what functional required for the achievement of what organizational objectives. So for this purpose, all the functions required are classified into the basic function that we need to suppose to the secondary and supporting functions. Yeah. So these features, the whole activities of an organization are divided into various what functions that we are supposed to perform to achieve our unit goal or outcome. And each functional area is put under the charge of what? One executive. So respect the chain of command. For any decision, one has to consult the functional specialist first. There is limited span of control. Okay, so you know what span of control is. So, as I said, the first was for line structure. It has a very specific line of command where you need to follow. So the approvers and others in this kind of structure come from the top to the bottom. So you line. So hence the name line structure. So this is the line, hot board of directors. As you can, it's faint. So we can have those that have the authority and those that have all responsibility. Line organizational structure. These are the type of structures that we have. And also have the matrix. As I said, the matrix is is a complex structure. So matrix structure. So the matrix, this is a structure which has a combination of functions and product structures. So as I said, it's a bit complex. And this combines both the best of both worlds to make an efficient organizational structure. So this structure is the most complex organizational structure. We have the general manager, but as you have the manager, You have both what people coming together. So the production units, the marketing units, the finance, and the personnel coming together to work. So we have what the line authority and what the project authority. So as I said, the matrix is what the complex, what the most complex organizational structure. Mm. So as I said, it's group people and resources by function. So listen, so by function and what products, combination of function and product structures. That is what the structure. So it results in a complex network of superior subordinate what reporting relationships. So who is this time? Who is my superior? Mhm. So it's that it's or sometimes what violates what the unit of command what principle. So the matrix organization, matrix structure, matrix system, matrix culture, and matrix what behavior. So each employee has two bosses. So as I said, it's at functional and products, and possibly cannot what satisfy both. So matrix organization structure is essentially what a violation of what unity of what command, where we have one superior, one boss. So this design sometimes violates because you have the products and function. It violates the unity of command principle. But it has some advantages. It offers operational freedom and flexibility. It focuses on end products and results or end products. It maintains a professional identity. It holds an employee responsible for management of what? The resources. And this one, the merits, it calls for greater degree of what? Coordination. Otherwise, you cannot achieve your goals. And as I said, it violates unity of what? Command. Difficult to define authority and responsibility. We have various what supervisors, we have superiors whom we are supposed to report to, but which of them are we supposed to what directly what under? Employee may be what motivated, demotivated, and it can be applicable where there is what a pressure for dual focus, pressure for high performing processing, and pressure for what shared resources. Example is what aerospace, chemicals, banking, brokerage, and advertisement, and so on. So it's teachable in these places. Mm. And as I say, we also have flat and top. So flat organizations are common in small business organizations. It's flat, as you can see. In this type of structure, there are fewer managing levels, and small companies use this type of structure because of lack of manpower, and also have advantages and disadvantages. Has advantages and disadvantages as well. They also have the tall. The structure has many levels. As a managing director, we also have you have the managing director, we have staff under them, the manager. So various units. So this structure has many levels of hierarchy. There are many managers. Each manager is in charge of a small group of people or small units. And this as well also have their advantages and disadvantages. So there's only a small number of employees, so the manager can supervise more closely and spend more time on training the employees as well. And disadvantages, it can be difficult to make decisions because the communication is what clear. Everybody knows what he or she is expected to do. And as I said, we also have the factors influencing the design of an organizational structure. We have the strategy, environmental, technology, human resource, and the like. We have a lot of them, but let's go through a few of them and let's see what happens. So the strategy. So different strategies requires what? The use of what? Different strategies. So a different differentiation strategy needs to be a flexible strategy. So low cost may need a more what? Formal structure. So increased vertical integration or diversification also requires a more flexible what structure. But sometimes when you have the structures, it is very difficult to do restructuring as well. So when in strategizing, you also need to get hold of all these things. Then the size of the organization. Organization charts what? Organization, it starts small. It can start with a small thing. And when it's growing. So that is why I say, oh, this organization is growing. It started with these people, 2 people, and now we see that it is growing. So it depends. So these are some of the factors that can also what influence the organizational structure. So all organizations start small with just few people and no specialization or departmentation. But the first stage, that is where in this first stage, you start with smaller thing. And in the second stage, when the organization grows, so like I said, it grows bigger by size. Departmentation is what's inevitable. The third stage is what the organization grows further and includes many geographic what areas, and each of these areas becomes autonomous with its own what departmentization. So this can also influence people. So as they grow, we also need to expand. We also need to restructure. We also need to strategize. Okay. Then these are the environment. So the quicker the environment changes, the more problem face managers. So structure must be more flexible so that when we have challenges, future challenges, we can also do something to save the situation. So decentralization authority when environmental changes is rapid. Then the human resource is also a factor. Highly skilled women workers whose jobs require working in teams usually need a more flexible structure. Higher skilled workers, example, doctors and all those people, they also often have internalized professional norms and values. The managers must take into account all 4 factors: the environment, strategy, technology, and human resource when designing the structure of the organization. Technology, now you see technology. So the combination of skills, knowledge, tools, equipment, computers, and machines used in the organization. So now we are high in technology. As we are evolving in technology, more things are coming up. So more complex technology makes it harder for managers to regulate the organization. So as we move on, as we go on, current issues, we also need to restructure. These are all things that can influence organizational structure. Technology can be measured by task variety, the number of new people, problems a manager encounters, task analyzer ability. So the availability of program solutions to a manager to solve problems. We have all this now. We have a lot of things coming up so that we can use. When you need to look for something, quickly you go to the net, you search. Then simple, you get them. So that is that. So we also have committee structure in organization. So organizational structure, we can also have the committee. And committee may be a person or group of person with delegated duties to perform. And membership may depend upon the duties to be performed. So while we have the structure, we also need to consider committee structure in an organization. So a committee does not represent separate type of organization like line and staff or functional. So I've talked about the lines and the staff or functional organization. So a committee consists of what? A group of people specifically designated to perform something. And a committee is also a body of persons appointed or elected to meet an organized basis for the consideration of matters brought before it. So these are the committee. We have the committee organizational structure. We have the board of director. Then we have the finance committee, executive committee, purchase, whatever. So whenever we need something in the organization, we form a committee. So this person will come and So reasons why do we form committee? To save a problem that requires specialized what knowledge. Then, so this time we need people committee to research into something, to investigate something, to do this, to do this. So to avoid the danger of delegating too much authority to one person if it is what not a one-man committee, to relieve managers of increased workload. Yes. To coordinate the activities of the other committees. So these are the types of committee that we have. We have the types of committee. Sometimes you have the executive standing, ad hoc committee. They also have advisory. You can also have the task force. You can also have subcommittees, coordinating committee, and we also have board of directors. So these are the advantages, pooling of knowledge together. So when you form a committee, we pool of knowledge. So sometimes we have committees that are formed to investigate something, committees that are formed to solve a problem, committees that are formed to bring out something. So effective coordination is available, effective communication, motivation through participation of employees. So we have also, it can sometimes, if you don't take care, it can slow decisions, most expensive, difficult to maintain, then compromise. Okay, so let's see. What is this the so what is executive committee? Who are they? So executive committee, they usually what compose of the best department or departmental or functional managers. We also have standing committee. As I said, standing committee has a longer lifespan, has responsibility for understanding and assignment of a continuous nature. Advice ad hoc form to what perform a specific what specific assignment after which it is what ceases to exist. That is ad hoc. Sometimes we have let's form this and solve this problem. As soon as we are able to what come out with a solution, then we resolve it. That is ad hoc. Then subcommittee, then the task force, a type of ad hoc committee, but has a relatively longer what lifespan than the ad hoc committee. Then the subcommittee is a committee formed from what a bigger committee. It is a child of a parent what committee. Then coordinating committee coordinate the activities of two or more what committees. Then a committee formed by shareholder, that is board of directors, to manage business organization on their behalf. So these are the types of committee that we have and their advantages and the disadvantages. So we can also consider these factors when you are organizing committee or you are and making appointment to a committee. So the committee should be composed of people who want to contribute in terms of what commitment, energy, and times. So if you don't have people that are not serious, you don't bring them on board in a committee. The committee, the members should have a variety of work experience and educational backgrounds. So composition, however, should ensure expertise sufficient to complete the task. Committees should have enough members to accomplish assigned tasks, but not so many that discussion cannot occur. So 6 to 8 members in a committee are usually what ideal. We don't have a lot of them, no. Otherwise, we cannot even finish what we are supposed to do. The tasks and responsibilities, including reporting mechanisms, should be what clearly outlined. So this is what we are going to do. A committee has been formed. So this is what you are supposed to do. And the time frame by the end of this month or we are giving you 2 weeks, 3 weeks to do this work, task of work. Assignments should be given ahead of time with clear expectations. That assigned work will be discussed at the next meeting. all committees should have a written agendas and effective committee chairperson. So as soon as we form a committee, we have a chairperson. Then we also have the committee, the members as well. So we have a committee. These are the members. These are the things that are supposed to do. So that is committee. How do we make committee effective? The task to be performed should be clearly defined. Otherwise, the committee will not know what to do. Proper selection of members is based on qualification, experience, and competence. We need competent people and serious people. Necessary facilities should be made available to it. Chairman should provide effective leadership. Members should exhibit good interpersonal relationships in the committee. Yes. Every committee should have terms in hand, a term of reference. They should hold. So as soon as we drafted the committee, so this is the term of reference. So this is what you are going to do. So you follow the term of reference strictly. This will make the committee effective. They know what they are supposed to do. Not at a point in time. That is committee. Advantages of committee. There is a pooling of ideas. Yes, that is why they have been knowledgeable, skillful, and expertise. Two heads are better than what? As the saying goes, two heads are better than one. Effective use of specialist knowledge. Checks the wrong use of authority if it is not the one-man type. Leads to participatory management or decision making. It is useful channel of communication. Committees are used widely to facilitate upward communication, to compensate for some of the difficulty in organizational communication. Created by line and staff structures. I told you the line structure, the staff structure. And this can be some of that disadvantages of committee, time consuming type of course. It depends on the type of organizational structure. Often destroy the normal activities of its members. Sometimes you have a way to do. Oh, we committee members, we have meeting. We are supposed to do this, we are supposed to do this. Yes. The chairman or member may be domineering or intimidating in consensus building. We need to check that. So that is why you need to have a person who has good leadership skills and communication skills. The cost of running a committee may sometimes exceed the expected benefits. As soon as the committee, sometimes we can have ad hoc committee. As soon as we finish with what's the term of reference, we need to give them honor. Committees sometimes weaken authority and accountability. So these are it says sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes it might or may weaken authority and accountability. And if you want to be effective, organizational effective, so regardless of what type of organizational structure is used, certain minimal requirements can be identified. The structure should be clearly defined so that employees know where they belong and where they should go to for assistance. The goal should be to build the fewest possible management levels and have the shortest possible chain of command. And you know chain of command. And this element eliminates friction, stress, and inertia. And the unit staff need to be able to see where their task fits into common tasks of the organization. And so the organizational structure should enhance, not impede communication. It should enhance, not impede communication. Do you have any question? Okay, so now we have done organizational structure as well. So we are coming toward the end of the lectures. We have some few topics to discuss. Then we go. So we've gone through management. And also, so I will just give you the management, then management functions. And you are supposed to do management theories. I will share it by the groups. Management theories. They have done leadership. What else have you done? We have done power.
Power and authority.
Yes. We have done what else? We have done delegation. Or have you done delegation?
Yes, please.
Okay,
Yes,
now
sister.
we have done it. Yeah. So we have done organizational structure. Hey, we have done so many things. Okay, so maybe hopefully next week we'll go through, let's see, conflicts. Hey, no. We have done delegation as well. Okay. We have done organizational structure. Okay. We've done power as well. So delegation. Hey, conflicts. We'll do conflicts. Hopefully next week when managing conflicts. Next week. So we are almost coming to the end of the lectures. Okay. The next time. Okay, so this is the end of today's lecture. Next week, God willing, we'll go through. So read and also I'll give you the assignment on the theories, management theories and leadership theories. We'll do that. We'll do an assignment. So we read on conflict management. Next week, God willing. I said what? Conflict
management.
Yes, next week we go through conflict management. Yes, conflict management. So we'll end the lectures for today. We will meet next week, God willing.
Okay,
Have a nice day.
Thank you, sister. Have a nice day.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank
you, ma'am.
Bye. You're welcome.
Bye.
You are happy. Read on conflict management, then we'll do a missing.
Hey, listen here.
You won't do the missing.
Doc, please, when are you doing the MSM, please?
Me, I'll decide by myself. Don't worry. Me, I'll set my own person.
Okay, Mom.
We are not following. We are not following them. We'll do our own thing.
Thank you, sister.
Okay. So when is the time? I'll communicate the time to you. Okay.
Okay.
Okay,
sister.